So today we are working on the S2000, and excuse the wind noise, it's very windy today. What I wanted to do was take apart the brakes and check the pad to see if there's any abnormal wear or anything weird going on like that, because what I've been noticing was at low speed turns, the brakes, especially from the passenger side, actually started to make some kind of a groaning noise. So before I run the car this weekend at an autocross, I wanted to just go over it and make sure everything's okay. Now you could already see here that these rotors have been getting pretty hot. I think right now I have almost 2 seasons of autocross and 2 track days on these, so really they haven't been done. If they are gone, then they would have done their job. So this side looks better. This one is actually the one that I suspect is making noise. So maybe the wear marks or the heat marks don't really mean anything. But I thought while I'm doing this, why not make a video out of it? So doing a brake job in these cars is pretty straightforward. I think it's only 2 bolts for the caliper brackets, and you should be able to just inspect your brake pads. So the first thing I'm going to do is lift the car, and in order to do that, even though this is stock height, you're still going to need to use a couple of 2x4s depending on how low your car or what floor jack you have. I just have a standard Harbor Freight one, so I'm just going to back onto this real quick before I put the floor jack under it. Now with that done, you're going to want to place the floor jack right over here in front of the oil pan. So where the point I'm using to put the jack stands under is right here. This is an area of the pinch hole that's reinforced. This should be more than enough to hold the car. And now we can work on getting the brakes off. So first you're going to start off by taking the wheels. First thing you're going to do is remove 2 12mm bolts, which are holding the caliper to the caliper bracket. One is here, and the other one is here. Stop this one. So these are on pretty good. They're only supposed to be torqued to like 25 foot-pounds, but who knows? Who knows? Alright. Move the caliper out of the way. to do it. Okay, so now you can take a look at the pads. So I think this side was the one I thought at least was giving me some groaning issues. So you can just pull these off and check to see if there's anything funny about it. So all right. So I think I found what's going on here. So, well, first observation is that the rotor looks fine. The pads also look like they're wearing evenly. Hold on, let me put this here. So the pads also look like they're wearing fairly evenly. So, but what I did notice is that the inside pad has this kind of deposit built up into it. I don't know if you can see that. That this one does not. So I'm just going to try cleaning this off, put it back together, and everything else honestly looks pretty good. And see if that fixes the noise. Another thing that you can check for while you're in here is in your bracket here there are caliper pins, or the sliders. You can just give it a pull and make sure they move freely and just that they're not seized. Be pretty much it. So I'm going to clean out this channel and put everything back together, take it out for a drive, and see if that fixes the problem. Yeah. And also what I'm going to do is re-grease this, so it doesn't hurt to do, I guess. I'm going to clean this up, hit it with a little bit of brake clean, and then re-grease it, put it back together. And if you forget which side goes where, you can see on this pad, this is the imprint of the brake caliper piston, so you know this one goes on this side. So basically, when you're also applying brake lube, I'm going to clean this a little first. Basically you want to apply the lubricant where the caliper has the potential to bind to the pad. So basically I'm just going to grease this spot here, these spots, and just put it back in, install the caliper, and we'll be good to go. And just install it back into the shim. It should just drop right in. Do the next one. One more drop. I'm just copy Type-C has size already. Dumpster. And if you're curious, I have spacers here because, and it's a 5mm, just because I'm running the rear wheels in the front, just because I have an extra inch So I'm running a 225 front and 255 rear, and because the hub diameters of the front and rear cars or the hubs are different, the rears need a spacer, otherwise the hub is too large for the wheel. I don't know why they made it like that. I don't know. It's an easy workaround, so it doesn't matter too much. But when you do have a spacer and the wheel is not hub centric anymore, you just want to make sure that when you're tightening these lug nuts that you are doing it evenly in a star pattern. You don't want to just torque this one to spec before even starting any of them. So you just want to hit it evenly to make sure that the lugs are able to center the wheel the best they can. And I've really never had issues with vibrations or anything like that, so it's been working out for me anyway. So cool. So now I'm gonna put the car back down on the ground. No, I'm gonna put the car back down, torque everything down, and then take it for a ride and see if the noise has disappeared or if it still is happening. Yeah. Oh, let's just go ahead and do it. And the lug nut torque spec for the S2000 is 85 foot-pounds. Cool.